How's it going, Ricky?
Great.
Great. So, yeah, pay no mind to the lack of progress on our engine build.
What have you been doing all week?
Nothing. So, hey, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about oil and all things oil.
Okay.
We got a lot of comments, whether it's through Facebook or on our YouTube videos, about what's this red painted stuff in our engine.
Oh, so you want to talk about Glyptal?
Yes, that is Glyptal, which I don't know a lot of it about it myself, but you did it when you built the engine, so you obviously know why you did it.
Okay, so I don't know why I did it either. Honestly, no. This is red Glyptal, which is an insulating paint for electrical applications, actually, but a lot of engine builders use it, and what it does is it allows the oil, it seals up the pores of the engine and allows the oil to drain back faster. So all the oil in the valley will go back faster, so I have less oil up top of the engine. And I even put it on the oil filter area. And point is, this Glyptal's been in here since we built this engine in 2001. So it's over 20 years old. None of it is flaked off.
No, it's still really good.
It's on there solid. So yeah, it's $50 at Eastwood now. They don't give this stuff away, but I think it's well worth it. Good oil drain back is important. And we're talking oil control today as well. So what's next?
Oil filters. So we went to the TTI headers.
Right.
And we went to those because before it was capturing the starter.
Right, and it cooked the starter.
Yes, and so we went to these to not capture the starter. Well, it captured our oil filter. And it turns out...
What a hassle.
We were running this big oil filter, which with oil filters, bigger is always better. Well,
let me say one thing about that oil filter. In that style, there are 3 different sizes, and that is the shortest one. You can show the part number. That is the shortest oil filter of that style, and it was still too long, and we were struggled.
Yeah.
So now what?
So we had to take the header off to change the oil, and it was just a bigger pain. But they also got this oil filter.
Hold it up.
It is smaller and a little bit shorter, and I believe it'll be able to get out from the headers, so it's not captured. But as you can see, it is the same.
It's the same thread. It's the same gasket.
Yes.
So you can show on that 90-degree adapter.
Yep. See,
Yeah.
it'll fit right on there perfectly.
No problem. So this will be our first time using this, but I want to point out we found a smaller filter. So hopefully get our oil problems, get it changed more often.
Yes.
Especially with the fresh build. What else want to talk about oil?
The windage tray.
Windage tray, okay. So these were factory on a 340 small block, and the 318s and 360s did not have a windage tray, but you can add them pretty easy. You buy a kit. We got this from Mancini Racing. And what this does, as you can see, it wraps around the crank, and it allows the oil to exit but not get sucked up in. And windage could be a big drag on horsepower. If you get oil whipping up in the crank, it'll foam the oil, which is not good, and rob horsepower.
Yeah, we're trying to find every bit of that.
Yeah, every bit of it. So we're gonna run a windage tray, and we have a deep pan, this Milledon pan, and it got me thinking, how much oil am I supposed to put in? They advertise this as 7 or 8 quart over, and really how much oil? So we've been running 7 quarts. Our dipstick is not calibrated. It doesn't even seat all the way in. So what we want to do is calibrate the dipstick. So let's talk about this oil pan and how much oil we're going to put in this. So you have to buy a special deep pickup. And you can see it goes down in the sump deeper. And how much oil we need to put in this. Any oil above the baffle, these are acceleration and deceleration baffles, because this is the front sump pan. And as the car accelerates, the oil sloshes to the back. It'll get up in the crankshaft and cause drag. So
This is just water put in here.
water, yeah. The pan is not final cleaned yet.
So after 4 quarts, where are we sitting?
We are sitting. We are we are under the baffle. So
What does 5 quarts get us?
5 quarts gets us right to the baffle. Now you gotta remember, you're gonna have oil in the filter. So we've got a 1/2 quart in the smaller filter, 5 quarts in the pan. You're probably gonna have 1 quart up top of the engine when it's running. Let me get some more water. So now with 6 quarts of water, which would be oil in your pan, we're above the baffle.
Can you raise that level?
Yeah, and any oil above that is just going to the back of the engine. So I think we're gonna run a total of 6 quarts, and we'll mark the dipstick where 6 quarts is after it's filled. So 1/2 quart in there, maybe 1 quart up in the engine. But
like you said, it's going to be up in the engine and in the oil filter and everything. So
where's the tape measure at? Okay, so where's the windage tray sit in the pan? We don't want, it's about 4.5 inches down. We don't want the windage tray sitting in the oil. That's just whipping up oil. So 4.5 inches down. That puts us right there. So 6 quarts in the pan will get us touching the windage tray. So my guess is we're gonna run 6 quarts total, not 7 like we were. We never had any oil pressure issues.
No, not at all.
Somebody else has got some other ideas. I sure welcome some comments. This is what I'm trying to do to eliminate all the windage and horsepower loss. Plus the oil, stuff's $10 a quart nowadays.
So what are we running for oil?
Okay, so in a flat tappet cam, it's not a roller. So the cam and the lifters rub on each other. That's just the way they work. You have to use a high zinc oil. They took the zinc out of the oil, I don't know how long ago. So part of the reason why our cam went flat is I was not running a high zinc oil. So now we're running a high zinc oil, and we're gonna run a zinc additive for break-in.
Yeah, a lot of people use the VR1 oil on their race cars, but a lot of times they run the, what is it, the 50 weight?
The 2050, and it depends how your engine's built and the clearances and the oil pressure you want, your application. I've always been of the school to use a lighter oil for less horsepower loss. Even in the Circle Track 4-cylinder modifieds, I ran the 1030, and we have plenty of oil pressure at idle and at high speed, so we're gonna run the 1030 for quicker oil pressure on startup.
Right, we did that last year too, and we had no issues.
Yeah, no issues with oil pressure in this car. So that covers type of oil. The zinc, if you're running a flat tappet cam, you gotta run the zinc.
Well, I hope you guys learned a lot from this video and maybe answered some of your own questions that you had, or maybe even raised some more. But yeah, put your comments in if you think we're doing something wrong, or you have a bit different opinion. Or
yeah, I'm not sure. I think that's the right amount of oil to use. Certainly too little is not good either, but too much is definitely wrong. Yeah, so thanks for watching.
Subscribe, and hopefully you learned something here, and I'll catch you in the next one.
All right.